Hi there, it's Nicole, and today I have a card set to share with you featuring the Simon Says Stamp exclusive cardstock and ink colors, as well as some of the Simon Says Stamp exclusive stamps and dies. So I created a set of 4 cards. They're all the same design, but they're all different colors, so I could kind of showcase several of the cardstock and ink colors in one set. I kind of picked maybe some of my more favorite colors, but I could definitely do this in almost all of the colors that the cardstock and inks come in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am taking some of the flower dies and also the mod window border and the Thanks on a line die. All of these are exclusive Simon Says Stamp dies, and I am running them through my Big Shot and cutting them out of some smooth white cardstock. I'm using the white cardstock in addition to the Simon Says Stamp cardstock that I'm using. So I'm just kind of die cutting all of my elements here and setting them aside, and then I will start putting my cards together. And I'm just going to put one of the cards together in the video today since they're all the same basic design. Now I am keeping those little inside pieces from that mod border that you can see there to the left of my screen because I'm going to be filling those back in here in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. So I had die cut, you saw me cutting out the red paper, but I'm actually going to be putting together the card with the sea glass. I had done all of the video and realized that I had forgotten to die cut the first part. I hadn't turned on my video button, so I did it in a different color. So I hope that's not too confusing because it is the same exact design. So I am just trimmed down that white border that I die cut first, and then I'm going to take both the colorful border that I also die cut and the white pieces, and I'm going to fill in some of these. Now I've also trimmed down some of the khaki Simon Says Stamp cardstock to 4 by 5 1/4 inches. This is just about 1/4 inch smaller than a standard A2 size card, so that this will fit on the front of a white card base. So I adhered first that border along the bottom edge of my card, and then I'm using the Zig glue pen and just filling in the little circle portions of the design with those corresponding pieces. So I'm not going to fill in all of it because I want some of that khaki background to show through, but I really wanted to create a colorful texture type border along the bottom of my card. And I did the same thing for all the other colors of cards I created. Now I've also cut a strip of the green cardstock, which the color is actually called Green Leaf, and I just cut a thin strip of that wide enough for my stamped portion of my greeting. I'm going to stamp different greetings from the Thanks 3x4 Simon Says Stamp set on these green borders, but they're all they all build on the die cut word thanks. So thanks for everything, thanks for your kindness, things like that. Again, I just used a tape runner and adhered that right above my mod border, and then I'm going to take my glue pen, add some little dots of glue to the Thanks on a line die cut, and then pop that right on top of that green border. So I'm just kind of building my card from the bottom up, you can see. So I've got my greeting now and my texture or interesting border along the bottom of the card, which adds lots of fun color. And next I'm just going to wrap a little bit of string around this and tie it in a little bow. I thought that was just a fun little accent since there's so much paper going on this card, which I like doing the one layer cards as well, but I just thought this would be a fun little accent on this particular card or card set. Next I'm going to take the sea glass ink and I'm going to line that up with that first die cut flower that I did here, and I'm going to stamp that right on that white die cut. And then I've also die cut the larger flower shape then from the sea glass cardstock. So I'm going to layer those on my card here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the rest of my elements. So I'm going to stamp the leaves using the green apple ink. Stamp both of those. And you can see the ink goes on pretty blotchy, very similar to Hero Arts ink. However, as it dries, it smooths out and is just fabulous. It's so pretty. It's just these are great ink colors. I'm going to take the olive ink and add the detail then for the leaves. I love that you can kind of build on these stamp sets. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the flower together for my card. Before I do that, I did stamp just a couple of the little trio of dots that is in this same stamp set. I stamped it a couple places there along the top of the card just for interest and to make it add just a little bit more detail, especially since the top of the card doesn't have quite as much going on, obviously, as the bottom of the card. So I wanted it to have just a little bit of detail near the top there. So there's a little trio of dots, and I stamped that in the green apple, and then I'm going to go back over that with the outlined trio of dots with the olive ink. So just pop that on there real quick, and then I can put together my flower. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to glue that stamped flower on top of the cardstock flower, and then I'll use some foam adhesive to adhere all of these elements to my card. Now, a trick I like to do whenever I'm using string, I like to pop just a little dab of glossy accents underneath the knot to hold that in place so I don't have to worry about it coming undone in the mail or anything like that. So I have all my foam adhesive on my die cut and stamped pieces, and I'm just going to pop that right next to the thanks. Going to put the center piece in there that I've stamped. Pop my leaves underneath. They have a little dot of foam adhesive behind them as well. And then I'll add some glossy accents to the center of my flower and just drop in a teeny tiny little heart, wood veneer heart from Freckled Fawn. And my card is pretty well done. I did put a little foam adhesive then behind this piece and placed all of these onto white cardstock bases or card bases. So just a really fun way to create a neat card set that coordinates really well, but all very colorful. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing the Simon Says stamp, cardstock, and inks. For more information, please visit my blog at www.nicolemcgurk.typepad.com on February 13th.